John Carlos and Tommy Smith, Negro runners who won medals in the 200-meter race, today were ordered by the United States Olympic Committee to leave Mexico.
If this thing is out of hand here...
What's the reaction of the white athletes?
Probably our entire United States Olympic Committee would be taken from the game.
Do you think the Carlos and Smith have done well for the Negro athletes?
Juan, what's your own attitude about being given 48 hours to quit the country?
I think they're out of their mind.
I heard about this guy swimming the English Channel, and you know, at that time, I didn't even know what the English Channel was or where it was. And I asked my father where it was, and I'm thinking about this great body of water, and I'm thinking about sharks. And my main concern was, well, you know, how does this guy swim? Does he swim with a knife in his mouth to fight sharks off? What does he do when he has to go to the restroom? My concern was, well, what is he doing it for? Does he win an award, or does he get a check? My father explained that he might just have the desire to swim this because not too many people have done it. He might get recognition, you know, from his country. Then I began to, at the same time, hear this thing about the Olympics, you know, about the greatest athletes in the world coming together. I wanted to go as a swimmer. I couldn't go as a swimmer based on my race. I wanted to go as a boxer. I couldn't go as a boxer because my mom was concerned about I was her baby boy and she didn't want them to break up my face. Running for me was a gift from God, and what turned me on to running was the fact that it gave so much pleasure to so many people to see me run. I think I was the first guy to bring showmanship into track and field, because I would take the track game and I would take it into the stands with the people and laugh with the people and drink a little wine with the people, eat some chicken with the people, talk to the girls. And then tell them, sorry, I'll be back in 9 seconds. When I go down there and tell them, say, don't turn your head because I'm gonna break this world record today, and go down there and do it.
John Carlos, who has a pending world record at 19.7 in the gun.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Real good.
When are you going home? Don't you understand? He doesn't have anything to say.
I'm telling y'all for the last time, y'all better tip and leave me alone. I'm pretty pissed off already with a lot of white people, so leave me alone, okay? I'm asking you the last time. Next man come up and put a camera in my face, or speak up in my face, I'm gonna knock him down and jump on him, yeah?
Well, Robin Hood was my first great hero on TV. First of all, he was unique. He wore a funny suit. I've never seen anybody wear a suit like that. He had stockings on. I ain't never seen no guy with stockings. And then he had this funny hat, and it had a long feather sticking off of it. At that time, if anybody dressed like that, you would think that he was gay, as they say today. And I'm watching this guy, and I liked his character because he exemplified a guy that had a sense for right and wrong and fair and injustice. And by him charioting for the people, you know, the grassroots people of his village or his area where he was, he became arch enemy number one. Like I say, he was a troublemaker because he wouldn't go for the norm, and he got his merry men together, and they went and did the things they had to do to help the people that wouldn't stand for themselves. You know, he stole from the rich and gave to the poor, and that's exactly what my motto was. I steal from the rich and give to the poor. And fortunately for me, you know, what the rich had was coming straight through the neighborhood. You know, we had the freight yards right down in front of the Yankee Stadium, and we had accessibility to it. You know, a lot of people wasn't concerned about going over there and breaking into freight trains, but I had no problem doing it. And I remember I had to tell my boys, say, no, man, this is not about no money for us. You know, we just going to give to whoever we can give to that don't have. So we decided, man, we give enough to the community. Now we need to get something back from the community. So the kids that had the brand new Converse sneakers, we would go over there to steal their sneakers and give them our old shoes. Mr. Lester and Mr. Bryan, they were officer detectives. And I remember Mr. Lester was about maybe 5'11". I don't think he was 6 feet. But Mr. Bryan was like 6'7", 6'8". And, you know, he was real fair-skinned, big hands. And Mr. Lester said to me, he said, Johnny, let me tell you something. There's been some break-ins. We think we know who's doing it. We can't do anything till we catch him. And we gonna catch him. So in other words, he was telling me, you better stop what you're doing. But then he said to me, he said, well, we want to tell you something else too. You have a talent. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, right, well, what talent do I have? And he said, you're a runner. And when he said that, I kind of smirked, like, and when I did that, Mr. Bryan, standing next to me, man, he smacked me upside my head, bam! And when he smacked me, man, his fingers were so long, they came down the other side of my face over here. And I'm saying, this dude wrapped all around my head. I could see stars. Went on track meets. We go through the South. You know, I ran with this East Texas on my chest. And then I remember going to a bar in the state capitol in Austin, Texas, to get a beer. And I had to have the bartender tell me, we don't serve niggas in here. And I remember telling him, I said, man, I didn't ask for a nigga, I asked for a beer. This here was pretty much like what I saw in Texas when I went to school in Texas. In 1960, 65, to state that, you know, you're not allowed to drink out of this water fountains for whites only. You're not allowed to use this restroom for whites only. You're not allowed to sit in this section, it's for whites only. And this was here in the United States in the 60s. And this is pretty much like where I said my uncle, my great Uncle Luther, he went to this beach where it was whites only, and dared anybody to say anything. I often thought, you know, if a person was prejudiced or a bigot and they were dying and they needed blood, would they accept my blood to save their life? Or would they be willing to die? You know, I don't want you to touch me, let me just die. I've always wondered, what course would they take? On all ends of the earth, people are being oppressed, people are being held back from who they should be in the life that they live. And we felt it was time that we let the world know as a consensus, the people of the world, that this is not the right method of life. No one should hinder anyone's progress in life. Everybody sees what's happening in society, but there's very few that take the initiative to say, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do something. See if you can get yourself in the habit of just having to toe your foot on the ground. I didn't know at that time anything about leadership. I just felt like certain things had to be done, and you just get up and do it. Somebody have to do it. Ain't nobody else doing it. Somebody got to do it. And I just went about doing it. And you're going to be far better than you are today. So let's go back and try it again.
This is the hottest 200-meter field ever assembled at the Olympic Games.
You got 3 gears But I would tell you, say faster, faster, faster. The sunshine went away and the storm came. You know, it was like night and day.
Sometimes I can feel what he's going through. I can feel it. John and I have been together for 28 years. It's a long time. It's been a hard struggle. A lot of it was a little sad for me to see how he was being treated and, you know, a lot of hate mail. That's what I didn't like. The hate mail that he was getting, because I still have some of his hate mail, and sometimes every now and then we'll still get some hate mail. You know. He couldn't hold a job for a long time, and once they found out he was John Carlos, they lay him off or they fired him. And he would come to the shop and I can tell that he didn't have his job any longer because he had this way of holding his head to the side and walking in, and I was just smiling. It's okay. You can pick him out in a crowd, that's for sure. If he's anywhere on TV where they're having track meets, I'm like, oh, there he is. He's walking with his walk.
All right, a lot of people ask about the fest and what's the significance of the fest. This is my impression of what I did. The essence of the fest was this. Here we are, 5 people. It's 5 people of color. Everybody in that 5 is pretty sharp, pretty independent. But within that independence they have, none of them are strong enough. None of them have enough power that they can move or shake or bake anything. But when they come together and put themselves together and close up on one matter, one subject matter, they become a very powerful force. And that's what I was saying to people of color, or black people in particular. It's time for us to put all these petty differences that we had aside and come together as a power base to determine our destiny. They never gave me a chance to tell the world that. I'm getting ready to challenge a new frontier. I'm going to move closer back to the East Coast. I'm not too enthused about moving to Atlanta. If I was to move anywhere, I would prefer to move to probably Raleigh, North Carolina. But my wife wants to move to Atlanta, and my wife stuck with me so long and so far until I think that, you know, if I have 20 years left in life, that 20 years should be devoted to her and whatever she chooses to do with life.